I've got this Regidrago deck, and we'll just jump straight into a game and see how this deck goes. I've been trying this deck with some different options, but they haven't worked out too well for me in my testing. So this list I'm going with is fairly straightforward. We'll see. We'll see. I thought that Benry TCG was streaming, but I guess not. He was. Ah. Speak of the Impidimp and he appears. Hey, Benry. Right. Ah, no. Get out of here, mate. Is it too much to ask for, like, one of the many cards that could get an evolution? I'm out of here, buddy. Let's look at this deck. I need evolution incense. I'm gonna get these out because they suck. I need, like, two. Just 2 incenses. But then I feel like I still need the draw supporters. I don't really want to cut Cherrim. It's too good. That seems to be about as much as I can cut this deck down. Maybe I can cut the nets. They're like not that important, right? Try and up our consistency a little bit. Let's go like one more. And we'll go just one more of these. Now that could be good for Regidrago. The deck is starting to look like what I want it to look like. Okay, well that's a bit sad. Goodbye, Cherubi. Okay, well I'm pretty much finished with this game. Can we please have a game where we get to play? Is it too much to ask? So, the key is to not bench Regidrago until you're ready to until you can attack with it, basically. So, bench it on the turn you plan to attack with it. If you can help it. It's more difficult than that sometimes. If they have the second cape, then we're in trouble. Kind of. Okay, we're pretty sure we win with this hand. Pretty sure it's GG. So let's just play it out. Cape. Sorry, Ordinary Rod, do both. Just grab those. We do need the Regidrago back in deck. Grab both of those. We need Regidrago. Cotton lift. They should see the writing on the wall now. Oh, not necessarily, because they don't know that I have boss. Huge turn. Huge turn. That was a combo and a half. Who needs Tool Scrapper when you can just boss the Pokemon on the bench and knock it out? But I probably should put Tool Scrapper in. Because there's other... You got Zashi and Zamazenta starting to creep in as well. Regidrago. Is there a way to make this deck better? Do we have the technology to make it better? I don't know. I don't think that affecting the Pokemon counts help. The extra incense helps, I guess. You would think that between Level Ball and Turffield Stadium, you've got enough cards to get the evolutions out, but it just isn't always the case. Maybe I go down to a 2-2 Gossifleur. Maybe I go another supporter. More draw? Just like a... Let's go a cheeky copycat. Copy. Cut an Ordinary Rod. I think 2 is too many for this deck. Should be able to get away with 1. Let's go another copycat. Let's just shore up our draw supporters. It's never a bad thing, right? So we're going to try copycat in the Regidrago list. And we'll see. 9:23 AM. Morning. Good top of the morning to you. It's currently 6 PM for me. 6:23. It's the evening. Bit sus. You don't like it? Maybe. But then what choice do I have? Just run my own money. I guess. Okay, this matchup should be okay. Diono. True. Cop that, draw 3. Well, Paladin, that's great to hear that the deck worked out. Medicham from your prize support. It's never a bad card to have in the collection. It's very good. So what are we going to do with this hand? I guess we just... So... I assume that next turn the Regidrago is going to get knocked out, right? Not necessarily. But there's a good chance. Actually, they can just impact blow. If it comes to that. So we're going to do it like this. And then we'll just research here. An Umbreon VMAX. Wow. They always have the luck. Okay. So my entire Eldegoss line is prized. Sweet. Unit update. So I'm gonna go double Cherubi here. And we just pass. Let's see how we go. This game's gonna be a bit rough because we can't... so we have to, like, draw into our energy. Just straight up. This matchup is a bit ordinary for Urshifu as well. So, we'll see. We'll see. I think, we can be competitive, though. So I don't mind playing this one out. So the only problem, and it may not be a problem, but the problem with attacking with this Urshifu without evolving it is that it definitely gets knocked out next turn. Or it's likely. Okay. So we're gonna wipe a bunch of energy off their board. It's fine. It's probably fine for them. Importantly, this is a matchup where we're not worried about residual damage appearing. Ordinary Rod, do both, because we need those. And we need energy back. We're going to research because we really need to hit the grass. Lucky. Very lucky. I mean, the odds were good, but it's still a tall order sometimes. I'm gonna need access to Tropius, I feel like, as well, in this matchup. Okay, so there's our Gossifleur, and Marnie is a good pickup there. That's good. That's good. Found it decent in the versus Eternatus matchup going VMAX too early costed you games. True. Well, let's see what my opponent can do. So, they're going to find it difficult to attack with Urshifu this turn. Probably very confused. What do you mean their Pokemon only give up one prize? What do you mean? Alright, we're getting Dark Signaled. You almost want to attack with a Houndoom, right? Because you can actually power it up this turn. And you could knock out a Cherrim. But then you risk losing it. So yeah, I don't know. It's looking pretty bad for them. Because knock out the Cherrim, fine. But then I replace it with a Regidrago. I'm going to draw a Copycat Wishu as a switch. Yeah, Cherrim is a bit of a thick boy. 2 retreat costs. Wonder why. Too many juices. It's too heavy. I want to know if there's an anime episode, a Pokemon anime episode, where somebody fights using a Cherrim or a Cherubi. What does it do? It's the weight of its sins. Cherrim. So let's do this. Turf field. We don't want to let them draw. And we're going to Mani here. So this is not bad, because what we can do is turf field. We grab the Eldegoss. Okay, it is bad. My bad. It is. It is bad. Let's grab the second Goss, which we don't have. Oh, I forgot. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, guys. It's alright. Don't panic. That is not the face of mercy. Level ball everything out of deck. No, I don't want to get Mani'd again. Four energy. Oh my gosh. My face when you can just beat down. Oh, but they need 2 single strike energies for it to work. Ah, but if they're just going to attack the Cherrim, they don't need the second single strike. So, unless they have boss in hand, that energy attachment is very puzzling to me. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. I'm just gonna Bruno here because I know I don't have the other Eldegoss in deck. Alright, Cotton Lift, grab Grass, do it first. So Bruno can give us other cards. There's a minute chance that we can attack with Tropius still. Not to be. That's fine. Go Stadium, Stadium. Let's just use it this turn. And we use Big Dragon Energy. I have a temptation here to use Regidrago and knock out something else. Okay, well, we don't have the choice anymore. That's fine. Having 2 powered up is super nice. Okay, I can still consider that play. But then, of course, they're not going to attack with this one. I should just take the prizes. Anything playing Quick Shooting Intellium to have a good matchup against Regidrago? That is true. That is an accurate assertion, Paladin. Very much the case. Alright, we're gonna have to work it out. What are we gonna do? I feel like I have to Bruno, because I need more Pokemon. So let's do it. I could attack with Cherrim here. That would have been funny. Attack with Cherrim. We could Tower of Darkness. Grab a couple more cards, maybe. But I sort of want the Bruno. Cotton Lift. We have another Regidrago, so I think we just set up the third one. Cherrim for KO. I could. There is a possibility. There is a world where I could do that. We'll discard the grass here just because we want to keep supporters in case we get Marnied. So this is looking good. It's looking good. We're just Dragon Energy. And then we got Boss in hand for game. So this is the kind of matchup that really exploits the design and strength of this deck. Because of course, this deck is going to absolutely maul 3 prizes, right? Because Gmax 1 blow plus single strike energy equals a very knocked out VMAX on the other side of the board. But if they've got all that strength and they can only pile it into knocking out Regidragos, then it becomes a good matchup for us. And you can see the way that this matchup is playing out. The prize trade is very much in our favor. I believe I have enough energy in deck that if they try to stall, we're fine. I can't remember if they played a supporter. Yep, they played research, so I think we're in the clear. They're not going to money us, obviously. That's embarrassing. Okay, GG. And Regidrago, rather, proves itself. Even with some pretty poor prizing in that game, we were able to hold our own against single strike Urshifu. A combo of it not being able to flex its muscles, so to speak, and consistency also being a bit of an issue for that deck. Let's have a look at Regidrago again. So it's the kind of deck where you can't really try to mitigate the bad matchups. You just have to build it, assuming that it's going to beat whatever is in front of it. The damage placement from Inteleon is so universal that maybe you could run something like Moo Cheese, Potion, maybe run Potion to heal Regidrago. But where would you fit it? Where do you fit those cards? I just don't think that you can. Maybe the incenses, and you run like Moo Cheese. Moo. Oh, they have to have energy attached? I mean, that's kind of good still, but what happened to my fresh water set? Let's look at healing options. You got Lucky Ice Pop, it's not bad. I mean, Moo Cheese is not bad, but the energy needing to be attached really kills it for me. What other options do I have in format? Center Lady is not great. Citrus Berry? Citrus Berry is not bad. Team Yell's interesting, maybe. I actually don't mind the idea of Citrus Berry, even though it can be scrappered. Maybe Potion, though. Let's just try 2 Potion. When was the last time you considered Potion for a list? Probably not recently, but we're gonna try it. Get in there. This could be completely pointless. Urshifu. Uh-oh. Yep, I would say Medicham is the way that you win matchups like these. Oh, yikes. No Eldegoss. And we're gonna get Yoga looped. Maybe I should have played it out to demonstrate what was gonna happen, but dang, dude. Let's look at the Regidrago deck again. What's going on? What if these just become more energy? Is that better? Does that fix problems? I think those have to be umbrellas, right? This is where I would put my parasols if I had any. So parasol's a consideration for Regidrago, for sure. Maybe I could consider running an Altaria. Wouldn't that be annoying? Actually, it would be pretty annoying. But the math doesn't really add up to anything interesting. With Altaria, Speed Dive 60, Dragon Energy 240, doesn't really do much. What about Appleton? Can we play Appleton? I like Delicious Aroma. So I did pick up Mew. I did pick up this Mew because I think Mysterious Tail is good. So look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal an item, and put it into your hand. But I'm just not sure that being able to get an item is that good. Let's compare it to the Jirachi. So the big difference between the Jirachi and the Mew is that Jirachi gets you a trainer, not just an item. It's something I didn't really think about until I started testing with the Mew. The problem with that Mew is that it doesn't shore up your consistency as far as getting supporters goes, unless you run something like Poker Gear in your list as well. So there's a bit more to running this card than what meets the eye. So this ends up being a pretty simple take on the list. But maybe you gotta run something like that. Maybe you go full 3-3. We keep prizing things, that's the problem. And maybe instead of that, you run the 4th Regidrago. Or you could run an Air Balloon. We got so many ways to get Pokemon that I don't think that the Air Balloon is too necessary. It's not like a big deal. Call for Family is great when you get it with Gossifleur, but it's not absolutely required, you know what I mean? Just bumping some card counts around. I almost want to go like this and run like a 3rd. It's all about trying to get this Gossifleur to turn 2 Call for Family. Scrapper. That could work. I'm a little worried about only 1 Ordinary Rod and then needing 6 Regidragos over the course of the game, potentially. That's a bit of a worry. And so, like, I'm kind of inclined to cut the Incense and go to 2 Rod. We just try it, because the energy recursion is important too sometimes. We're going to put the Scrapper to the test. Classic card, Scrapper. It's been around for so many different formats. And we've seen it leave format, and we've seen it come back. It's great. So if we're going 2nd here, that's pretty good. Well, I mean, it's better to go 1st, of course, but we'll, you know, we've got Gossifleur in the lead. So we can set up the bench and then research next turn. So I think the bench is going to have to be Cherrim, Goss, Tropius. I can also Marnie here. It's probably better than discarding Boss. Lose 2 cards, but get to preserve a bunch. Okay. Kind of good, kind of okay. See what happens, I guess. Because while of course we've been able to set up, we haven't really got anything in hand left. So we're hoping for a Marnie, please. Please. Can't energy assist me, which is good. They're gonna have to attack the Malamar. It's not a tall order by any means, but still, it means that they have to get a bit of work done if they want to take a knockout on the Gossifleur this turn. So I don't actually want to boss either of these. Which is Razor Leaf. So I don't want to boss any of these because they have access to Tower of Waters. They can retreat. I want them to commit an energy to the Cinccino to retreat it. No draw though. It's pretty bad. Oh well then. That's exciting for us. Bruno. We can get things started next turn though. Let's Razor Leaf. I'm loath to Marnie them. Because their hand is obviously a bit ordinary. They should be using Make Do to draw out of it. But, oh, they'll get there. Pretty sure this song's from PSO. Phantasy Star Online was amazing. See what happens. So surely this is a knockout, right? They only need to reveal 2 cards to get the KO. But that's fine for us. We get to hit back with the rally back. Tropius, we get to bench Regidrago. And then we'll see how the rest of the turn pans out. Okay. Yeah, they get their artillery finally. Now, it's not a tall order, but they do get first blood in this matchup, so let's see. Don't tell me they whiffed. Surely they've got a Rapid Strike card in hand. Have they used Make Do? No. So they've got a long way to go with this turn. And they're having a good old think about it. What I would do is probably not Rapid Strike Search first. I would Make Do first. And Rapid Strike at the end. So that you increase the chance of the Rapid Strike cards you find. But without seeing their hand in front of me, it's hard to know what the right play is. So there's one Make Do. You've got another one. Now one would imagine they've got the cards that they need, and they do. Okay, it's going to be a whole lot of back and forth now. It's just going to be a whole bunch of attacking. We finally hit a level ball. Excellent. So we're going to grab Eldegoss. Because I want to ensure that we grab an energy this turn. And then we get a Marnie here. Stuff their hand a bit. Okay, we're starting to get things. Starting to get them. Turf Field. Let's grab Cherrim. Cotton Lift. fire and grass. So what I sort of want to do here is grab the other Eldegoss as well. And the reason for that is so that I can grab even more energy out of the deck. Okay. And then that way I can power up both Pokemon this turn. So I'm going to go Spring Bloom. Attach energy there. And we'll take this and we'll attach it there. Take this and attach it there. And hit done. And then we'll rally back here. 120 is exactly enough to knock out a Rapid Strike Malamar. Fire energy. So, bit of a slow start to this game, but now it's moving. Now it becomes a matter of, can my opponent put together the damage that they need to every single turn? These Regidragos are gonna take a bit of extra effort to knock out, because you need 4 Rapid Strike cards every turn to knock these out. You need 4. And that starts becoming difficult. It starts to become difficult to put those KOs together. And my opponent now needs to string those attacks together for 5 turns without missing. It's a good start. It's good opportunity to research. I'd considered holding Turf Field so I could get rid of their towers, but I think that it is probably negligible. It's probably fine. Catcher. Interesting. Now I've got a boss here. What do I want to do with boss? I have another boss in deck. Maybe I want to knock out a Cinccino to stuff their drawer a bit. Might not be such a bad idea. Alright, what have you got? You need to reveal 3 cards. It's not hard with a hand that looks like this. So let's keep grabbing energy. Just to keep thinning the deck. Because those Malamars are going to be eternal. I'm gonna have to face them down every turn no matter what. Cinccinos, on the other hand, might be a bit more difficult for my opponent to establish those repeatedly. Alright, so let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I'm a little bit worried here. I may have to discard a fire energy. That's probably fine. Though, knowing that I've got Rod in the deck, discarding a fire is probably okay. So as you can see, next turn, it's going to be Fire, Accelerate, Grass, and Research. Because we really want to get energy back into the deck. As well as recovering Tropius and Regidrago. Tropius is good for us because it helps conserve our energy in this matchup. I think I went back to 1 Rod in this list, so... conserving energy is a good idea, if we can help it. Great Ball. Octillery. So they're in the process of recovering that Cinccino, which is a bit annoying. But if they don't have it for even one turn, that's great for us, I think. Now, is 4 out of 5 what you need? Now, your -1 Rapid Strike, you better hope those were 1-2. That's annoying. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. So what have you got? What are you going to do? Alright, they revealed 4. The requisite number. Their deck size is quite small now, actually. It's not altogether too surprising. Cotton Lift is probably fine. Just to peep what's in the deck. 2 rods. Okay, we got 2 rods. So we can be a bit haphazard here. Just grab one of these. So we can thin a little bit. And we'll go research. Interesting that I didn't hit either of the rods still. But we'll definitely get it next turn. No choice but to Dragon Energy here. Not that that's a terrible outcome. As long as we're taking prizes every turn, we can try and outmaneuver, outlast our opponent. You know? As long as they keep putting down Inkays, you know, they took the first prize, so there's a good chance that they'll win, but we're going to do our best. Okay, so that's a bit wonky. They left a Malamar in the discard pile. I guess they figure that they only need 3 more Malamars over the course of the game to beat me. So maybe that was fine for them, I'm not sure. Do they have the energy, though? That's a question. It would be very unfortunate if they whiffed the energy. Of course they had it. Never a doubt. Okay, knocking out Cinccino's not really going to help us now. We just need to knock out what's in front of us until we win. So it's not exciting at this point, but it's just like entertaining, I guess. It's entertaining to see the little decks fighting. It's just like a really long back and forth. The problem is that these decks are not particularly built to face each other. They're built to face a metagame where Pokemon have more than 300 HP. So it doesn't look that interesting because all they do is one-hit KO each other over and over. But still it's interesting nonetheless. Let's put up Eldegoss. Let's Bruno. We want to keep the boss. Scrapper doesn't do anything. Still didn't get the rod, actually. So now we're in a bit of strife. Neither of the rods. That is probably my bad. Thin the deck a little bit. of the rods, though. That's not good. I've got 2 rods, and I just did not put it together. I may whiff, and my opponent might just seal the deal. If they drop an Inkay here, then it's looking pretty doomed for us. Yep. So it might be doomed anyway. But it kind of annoys me that we didn't hit the second... Like, either of the rods all game. Hey, Tom. Regidrago is... To be honest, it's a bit disappointing in its performance. Unfortunately, the current meta really bullies it out of contention. It could be good. The deck could be good, because it one-shots Vs. It presents a very threatening amount of damage. But the format is full of too many things that exploit the negative symbol on the Dragon Energy attack. And it just has, like, issues in general. Super Rod. 1 turn too late, I feel like. Oh, no, it's not. It's not too late. But if we don't knock out the Malamar, we lose. So we have to have a think. So there's a funny thing that we could do. So if we don't attack the Malamar and knock it out this turn, we lose. If we attack something else, they just come in with Malamar and we lose. So I think my plan is to boss's orders something and just wait. I think that's the only way we win. Let's do this. Thin our deck. And we can attach, I think we can attach 1 grass energy and use Cotton Guard. Just to make life ultra difficult for our opponent. So Cotton Guard reduces the damage that we take. So if they have to, let's say, I don't know, burn a card to retreat Cinccino, then we're in good shape. But I feel like they would have calculated their board position to get around it. If that single boss worked out for us, though, so they can't attach Spiral Energy to Cinccino, I'm pretty sure. So they might lose by virtue of not having basic energy left. If they don't have a switching out in this hand of 5 and their top deck, they lose. It'd be a heck of a way to go. Oh, we used our brain and we won. Oh. We got him with the boss at the end. You hate to be on the receiving end of that, but I thought we lost that game, but that was a moment where... So I was saying earlier during that game I was saying that because these decks are designed to compete with Pokemon with over 300 HP, it doesn't seem that interesting when they play against each other, because all they do is the same thing but different. They both just hit each other for big amounts of damage to knock each other out. And I would say that Malamar has a better time tempering the amount of damage that it does with Rapid Strike Tentacles. So it can scale the amount of damage that it outputs. But I would also say that Malamar, the way Malamar is built usually, probably can't last a 6-prize game that well. So at the very end, when they had virtually nothing left, and that they assumed I would win in a certain way, I was able to snag them with the boss, and they, between the 5 cards in hand, 1 card remaining in deck, they didn't have a way remaining to retreat the Malamar. They had only exactly enough left in the deck to attack with the current Malamar and the Malamar that they had ready on the bench. So, yeah. I'm pretty chuffed with the way that game went. It went pretty well. So even though we didn't take the first prize in that matchup, it worked out in the end.